Is the volume up all the way here? It don't sound like it to me.
You're live, Lalji.
All right, my brother. Okay. All right. So go ahead. Do open up, my brother. Open up. And I'll get behind you.
All right. Greetings and welcome, family, to Sunday's page of I Am Words of Power, featuring Lalji Selassie. Your camera looks perfect, brother.
Okay.
All right. For those of you who are interested in joining the Sunday I Am chat for inspiration throughout the week, here is the link. And getting back to the, pardon the interrupt. Let me just mute my phone. And without further ado, let's do the quick opening of today's program.
All right. I would like this thing lower.
Let me do it.
Why can't I hear?
How's that?
A little better.
How's that?
I don't know who the message is.
Who is that?
Don't know. So is he's waiting for me to come on? I mean, I'm waiting. How come I don't hear it? I don't hear you at all, Brother Hank.
You are live
Now I
and
hear
he
you.
can hear you. I was
All right,
backstage.
good.
So family, I'm staying backstage. Let Lalji know that you can see him and hear him. We are live.
Okay. I could see only me, but yeah, I'll do that.
There's other people.
And I can see I'm not in control here, right? Only there. Put that there. And if you stay there, you get to do what you got to do there. All right. So let me open up with the invocations of. We're on chapter 23 now, and so I'm going to open up with the invocations of Saint Germain's invocation. Thou mighty infinite intelligence, thou who dost have power over all things, we welcome thy all-pervading presence, thou all-pervading life, the animating principle of every human being. We give thanks that I am the great and mighty presence, that I am anchored in the heart of every one of God's children, fulfilling the perfect plan in spite of all resistance of the outer activity of the mind. We give praise and thanks that the conscious direction of the mighty energy is sufficient by those of understanding to bless and prevail with thy wondrous light and intelligence. I bring you greetings from the great host and personality from Jesus, who will again speak to you over his ray today. The discourse by beloved Jesus. So I want y'all to understand, this is not Christianity, this is not Islam, this is not Buddhism, this is not Hinduism, this is not America, Africa, everywhere else in the world. This is not that. That's not going to work. This is the light of God. I think you might have to move. All right. This is everywhere in the world, but nobody particular. This is not anybody's religion, although because I've studied many religions, we will speak about all of that truths in here. I notice many people have said to me about Jesus, especially, they don't like Jesus or something like this, as if they had personal contact with him because they went to church and the preacher was no good, right? Who is that pretty face on there? Okay, April. So she got courage. She got courage. And so Jesus ain't got nothing to do with these preachers down here on earth. He ain't got nothing to do with them. And there'll be the God Himalayas, there'll be gods, there'll be angels in these books that we're reading. So in fact, Jesus said in these discourses here, he said, if I was on earth, they probably wouldn't let me into the average church in the world. So all of those who don't like Jesus because they went to church and you know, the preacher was no good, he was touchy-feely type of preacher, he only wanted your money and all like that, don't blame Jesus for them people, okay, y'all? He ain't got nothing to do with that. Anyway, all right, look, let's get on with the discourse. So I want to tell you how this is being done too. They have technology in the seventh dimension. They have a light ray. They have a device that they use to send their voice into this third dimensional, fourth dimensional reality. We just entered into the fourth dimension. And so they're speaking directly to us. So there's no confusion on what they're saying. This is not a channel. You know, this is direct light coming to us from their dimension to us in this dimension. So exactly what they're saying, you are hearing. And they tape this and they transcribe this into these 21 volumes. There's many other volumes too. And
All right, family. I think Lalji, I think your sound went out. I'll call J Dean because he's busy talking and he can't hear that his sound went out.
I come to you as
J Dean, his sound went out.
The sound went out.
Yeah, we don't have sound. Tell him stand by.
we don't have sound. Stand by, y'all.
All right. All right, family. Thank you for your patience. We got a little technical difficulty this morning. Arset, your video is not working, Arset. So the only one that can be heard, hopefully, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me right now talking? Give me a sound check, y'all, family. Can y'all hear what I'm saying? Post in the chat if you can hear me, because we want to make sure that everything is good. Okay. Thank you, Corin. Corin says he can hear me. And thank you. All right. So coming back with the group, Arset, you don't have video. So come out and come back. Thank you, sister April. I see that you're here. And Brother Lalji will be back momentarily so that we can continue with this morning's program. All right. Thank you, Lume. Thank you, Cosmic. We got sound. All right. Okay, here's Lalji. Let's pull him back in.
Okay.
All right. There you go, brother.
Great.
What about the sound?
You
Sound
can hear
is
me
good.
Everybody can hear me good. Now, can you hear me, Arset, now? Arset, can you hear me? No.
Yeah, we can hear you here in YouTube.
Okay.
In YouTube,
All right, good.
bro.
All right, good. Okay, good. All right, so let me start over again. And there's no way we can get this picture bigger, huh?
Well, he just jumped off. All right. So thank you for being patient. We're going to wait till Lalji comes back. But we're gonna do a video. And
He touched something.
He touched something and he went out. So y'all got to come back. Keep Lalji away from the phone. Here he is. Here he is.
Don't touch the phone.
Okay, I won't touch the phone no more.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm a master of this, y'all. I'm going to get
old school trying to catch up. That's all right.
All right. Everybody can hear me. And so let's
Arset, you are in the stream. You're through StreamYard. You're on YouTube. So you're looking good. Good. And we can't hear you over here in YouTube world, but that's all right. Because
they can hear me.
They can hear you. And I'm out of here.
All right, my brother. I'll be asking you questions as we move along. All right. In the fullness of my love, this is Jesus speaking, y'all. In the fullness of my love, I come to you again today over the light rays and sound rays, this time to direct consciously the healing ray to every one of the students. This ray I will sustain for 2 weeks every day, that they may have the radiance of the healing power. And they also said that as they say these rays, right, as you come in your time, it is granted to you in this time, because they're talking in this is 1930, December 19th of 1932. Now we're in March of 2023. So sure, this is going to almost be 100 years in a little while. All right. This ray I will sustain for 2 weeks every day, that they may have the radiance of the healing power. In my ministry to mankind among the hills of Judea, I stirred the latent memory within the inner records of mankind, and its work is still going on today. I wish the students to understand that preceding all conscious healing upon my path, within my own mind, I was always conscious that I am the only healing presence. And when he says, I am the only healing presence, he means it was my God self doing all the healing. It was doing it through me. I connected with my God self. So as I'm talking, my God self is talking. And I want to let y'all know this. We were not granted speech in this human consciousness. Our speech is directly coming from our God conscious self. Our Trinity granted his voice. So this is how we're really able to speak. It's not the voice box. It ain't. It's our God self that allows us to use the power of the spoken word. And through that power of the spoken word, we become masters. This is something I want you all to keep in mind. Through the power of the spoken word, we become the master that we are. We become the God self that we are. So when Jesus says, I am, he's evoking the God self, the heart, the noetic, the mental aspect of the Trinity to speak to the doer aspect of the Trinity, which we are. And this light is an unbroken light, an unbroken voice, an unbroken power. All right. I am the only healing presence. And as that unlimited I am presence, and as that unlimited I am presence, I had the right, the power, and the ability through that presence to command all outer activities of the mind to be silent and obey its command. So in other words, all that ego, go. You ain't the power here. The power here is God. And I am that voice of God. I am that power of God. I am that. Thus, when I spoke to individuals, I spoke with that authority of the I am presence, which I recognize as the only intelligence and power acting, right? No ego here, just the God presence, right? Or that could act. In other words, if God moves without you, you're dead. If God is not in there pumping the heart, seeing through your eyes, beating your heart, pumping that blood all around your heart, breathing in and out, because we don't have the power to breathe in and out. All that power is God power. All this stuff that's operating in this body is God operating it in us. And that is the power that we are. See, that's the key, to get out of the ego and move directly back into the God power, to understand at all time that what we are doing, I lift my hand because God is lifting my hand. And I know some of y'all been so sick and so ill, you couldn't lift the hand, right? You could hardly talk when we get sick. And we get well through the God power. All right, let's get back. Thus, I was conscious of the outer activity of the mind of those humans about me. But as I said before, it was only when I began using I am the resurrection and the life that the fullness of my mission and how it was to be fulfilled was entirely revealed. This is the particular point I wish to stress with the students today, that within each one of us, that which is each one of them is the same mighty I am presence, which I use to accomplish the perfection of that mighty presence. This seems to humanity at that time to performing of miracles. However, I assure you, it was but the conscious setting into action and use cosmic law and the use of cosmic laws. So what we see as miracles, it's like people on other planets with this planet is conquering. They're out there conquering other planets now, right? The people that's controlling this world, the ones that's, the chemtrails and poisoning the food and poisoning the water and poisoning the air. They're going out there to other worlds, right? And when they go to these other worlds, right? And I'll be repeating these things over and over through the months. They saw that the people in these other worlds were thinking, and now remember, stay with me because I'm making this point so y'all will get the point that I'm trying to make here. They saw their use of technology as magic, right? They thought that they had magic. Like when they came and conquered this world, we would think, hey, they got magic. They're greater than us, so forth and so on. So they hired people here in this realm to go into a think tank and say, at what point does technology equal magic? So they paid them hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they came back to them. They said, not only does magic technology at some point equals magic, but technology at some point equals God. That was one that floored me. Like we build AI, and AI is far greater than us. Yeah, like that. So keep in mind, now this is the point I'm trying to make here. He is using the power of the spoken word like a bodybuilder uses a weight to build his body. And if we use the power of the spoken word like a bodybuilder uses to build his own body, like a swimmer uses to build their own body, like many things that we do, when we first do these things, we're not masterful at it. But as we do whatever job we do, and we're doing it 20, 30, 40 years, we become masters. And after that, we become past masters in the thing that we do. It is the same if we use these words to make ourselves the masters in our reality. The more we do it, the more masterful we get. I mentioned to the crew before in the Zoom, I was with this brother, and he was moving, and the what do you call it? The ticket, the meter people was coming to give him tickets to move his truck because he was double parked. Everybody was like, "Oh man, what are you gonna do now? We already moved the truck once. What are you gonna do?" Boom, boom. That's what they was talking. And he says, "Oh ye of little faith." He took his hand just like this. He put it how he did it. He took his hand and he goes. He said some kind of mantra. Boom, the one car said some kind of mantra to the car immediately behind it. About 30 seconds later, two guys came. One came first to move that car. The next guy came before he even drove off to move that car. This is the power of the spoken word, once used over and over again. So there was one brother in the background. He goes, "You a bad man." He saw them cars move out like that. This is how it works, y'all. This is how it works. If we use the power, if we keep using the power of spoken word, we will gain mastery. We will gain it. All right. So I just want to emphasize that point. The brother goes, "Oh, ye of little faith," taking it out of the Bible. Anyway. All right, let me continue. Consciously setting into action and use cosmic law. All right, boom. Let me take it from the other sentence. However, I assure you, it was but consciously setting into action and use cosmic laws that are everywhere about you. The cosmic laws, and this is me talking, the conscious laws exist in every electron, y'all. I just want y'all to know that. God exists in every electron. And through the power of the spoken word, they are activated and move according to what you say in a way and bring it back to you in the way of an act, an object, or an event in your life. All right. Conscious setting to action and the use of the cosmic law that are ever about you to be set into activity through the conscious direction. The mistakes that students make and which delay their achievement is in feeling that they are acting a falsehood in declaring the perfection they do not yet see manifest in their appearance or activity. Like you want something, right? You want something, but yet, it's not there immediately. It's not there immediately because you haven't gained the mastery right then. But once you do gain the mastery, once you do build that muscle of activating electrons scientifically by activating through the power of your spoken word, then they'll manifest. Otherwise, forget about what you see and just keep saying the decrees. Keep activating. Keep repeating. All right. I tell you with sincerity. I tell you sincerely, from my own experience, that we must acknowledge the one presence, intelligence, and power, then claim it as our own in our every thought and activity. It is the only way this mighty perfection can be brought into outer appearance and the fullness of your use. In other words, when you want to see something manifest, don't think it's you doing it. Don't think it's you doing it. Think that God is doing it. And when we think that God is doing it, we are using the mighty power of God. And I said this before, I'm going to say it many times. I had the good fortune to see this force that's coming into us. It is a tornado of energy. It's not a little beam of light. It is a tornado of energy coming in that we are. Let me say that again. That we are. Let me say it one more time. That we are. And once it gets here, we show the God perfection of what we are, or we requalify that energy with our ego and what it is, the human, right? If we keep our energy focused on, I am the God within, I am love, Anala, Hariom, Om Namah Shivaya, I am the resurrection and the life. If we keep that energy focused on what we are, which that is, then that's what we are. That's the power that comes through. This is why I see the mantra a little bit more powerful than decrees, because mantras are short. And when you're doing a mantra, you're doing thousands of them. It takes you 15 minutes to do 1,000 Om Namah Shivayas. It'll take you about 12 minutes to do 1,000 Hari Oms. The same thing with an Allah, if you're a Muslim, right? The shorter the mantra is, the more you can the more you can repeat, which locks your mind into God and which gives you that power. Here's a mala, right? And this mala, this is what I do. On the Mashiva, on the Mashiva, on the Mashiva. Now, when it comes to saying decrees, right? Let's say I want to say the most powerful decree. The Ascended Master told us this is the most powerful decree. I am the conquering presence. I command this I am presence, govern perfectly my mind, home, affairs, and world. I am the conquering presence. I command this I am presence, govern perfectly my mind, home, affairs, and world. I am the conquering presence. I command this I am presence, govern perfectly my mind, home, affairs, and world. That takes a lot longer to say than Allah or Hariom or Om Namah Shivaya or any other mantra. But I still do them. When I'm out there in the street, I'm working out, I'm doing those decrees to block out these chemtrails from stealing our minds and our memory. I say, I'm the quickening of the cells, and this my brain structure according to expand and receive the intelligent direction of the mighty in the presence. And so this is what I do as I'm working out. I'm out there working out, right? So I do one string 28, then I'll switch to another mantra. I am the resurrection of life of my limitless supply of every good thing, including riches and money, spirit, including riches and money in my hands and use right now and eternally. And I switch to another one after that. So like that, as you're in the streets doing what you're doing, you got time to do this. Don't think that you can walk around in your passive thinking, not doing the mantra or the decrees. As you do them, you gain mastery. And check this out. If you do the Om Namah Shivaya mantra, this is what's in the Japa Yoga book. As you do that, as you do it 130 million times, which takes about 15 years, right? But your life is a lot longer than 15 years. God will come to you. God will come to you. Now, I want to say this because it is so, so important. There was a woman named Elizabeth Watt Hughes. She invented a machine that the sinister forces don't want you to know about, right? She invented it, I think it was 1880, 88 or something like this. Now, this machine showed you what your words actually manifest. She got so good at perfecting this machine through the power of the spoken word, she could evoke a what do you call it? A forest or a rose or even a person by saying the words that would manifest right there. So this is what you're doing as you say a decree or as you say a mantra. And boom, she gave an exhibition in Rome, right? And there was a Catholic priest, there was a Bengali monk, right? The Catholic priest who was saying the Ave Maria mantra for thousands, millions of times, set it into this Edophone. And the very vision of Madonna and child appeared in this Edophone. The vision, the form, right, of Madonna and the child. This Indian monk, he said a mantra, and not only did the being of the mantra, the god of the mantra, or rather it was a great saint of the mantra appeared, but all the paraphernalia associated with that saint appeared in the mantra on the machine, the Edophone. So this is what I want y'all to understand, that this voice is coming out of you. You are evoking that person, God, or whatever it is that you're trying to, well, it is there before you. Once you get this power, once you build it up, once you build the momentum of saying whatever it is that you're saying, you'll begin to see that. And that thing that came out of you through the power of the spoken word is going to exist inside of you. So when you get to the point, because of doing this work, because of doing the application of repeating it, you're going to see that God self. And the next thing you're going to realize is that God self that you've been repeating is you. Huh? So you getting it, April. You getting it. I see that. All right. Let me continue, y'all. Because that perfection has not yet appeared, seemingly should not deter you from applying and claiming perfection as your own. For anyone with average intelligence has but to stop and think that the energy, the life principle which he is using is God, the I am presence. Therefore, its presence, power, and energy is always self-sustaining. In the claiming of this mighty presence and activity, you consciously you consciously set into action your life, home, world, and affairs. I want to read that again. In claiming of the mighty presence and activity, you consciously set into action in your life, home, world, and affairs. Like that most what Saint Germain says, the most powerful decree we could issue is, I am the conquering presence, and I command this I am presence to govern perfectly my mind, home, affairs, and world. The word, the activity has to follow the word. Therefore, its presence, power, and energy is always self-sustaining. In the claiming of the mighty presence and activity, you consciously set it into action in your life, home, affairs, and world. Today, as in the time of my attainment, the financial struggles seem to be the most weighing. And yet, within the reach of your conscious manipulation and direction of the mighty energy, substance, and opulence about you, you have everything with which to draw to you that wondrous omnipresence, opulence of God. When you say, I am, you are stirring that into action to fulfill your conscious demand. In other words, it's like the moment we say the words, I am, that's the acting power. That's the power that starts that gathers the electrons to your command. God is hiding in the electrons, y'all. I just want y'all to know that. God is hiding in the electrons, and we got trillions of electrons all around us, and they respond to the power of the spoken word. So understand this too. As you curse, when you're saying this, that, or what other curse. Now, I'm gonna tell you now, I'm guilty of this too. But as I curse, right, as it slips out by accident, I then go ahead and go 11 times. On the Mashva, 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 on the Mashva. 11 times, because my mind says, I'm tired of trying to correct home slice. I'm stop your cursing, So as I do say whatever curse I might say accidentally or on purpose, I turn around and then say, Om Namah Shivaya. I correct it with the power of the spoken word. All right. So let's continue. We're on page 268 for those who have the book. Those who don't have the book, please get the book. Volume 3. And we're going to go on to volume 4. And after that, we're going to go to Chit Shakti Vilas, or the Play of Consciousness by my guru, Swami Muktananda. Then you'll see what a powerful, spiritual practices are and the attainment that you get. No one on the planet Earth before this, or probably after, has written about these secret things. So I want to warm you up with this, and then when you get to that, boom. And I also want you to know, in these prayers, decrees, chanting, and meditation, is the same thing that's going on in the inner secret ashrams that we can't enter now, like the retreat of the god Tabor, or many of these other gods and highly ascended masters. And what I'm praying for, and what I'm hoping for, and what I'm looking to do, is to be picked up and to be brought into these retreats. Now, I lived one in my guru in India, and we can't go there like we used to. We can't go there anymore. So I want you to understand this. All of these practices, all of these things, and these masters that come around, don't think they're going to be here forever. Because my guru passed away. He ain't here right now, right? He's inside of me, but I can't just go and see him like I used to. And we got to understand, take advantage of these things now. Don't play with your time. Take advantage of it. These very books may not even be out here. We might get into a point where they burn books again, like they told us they did in Nazi Germany. Where am I at now? We're on page 268 still. And at the bottom, I'm almost forgot where I left off. Therefore, I'm going to be reading over again. Therefore, its presence, power, and energy is always self-sustaining. In the claiming of this mighty presence and activity, you consciously set it into action in your life, home, world, and affairs. Today, as it in the time of my attainment, the financial struggles, okay, we're down here. When you say, I am, you are stirring that into action, fulfilling your conscious demand. One of the first and mightiest things that became clear in my consciousness was my ability, everyone's ability, to qualify this energy. Let me read that again. One of the first and mightiest things that became clear in my consciousness was my ability, everyone's ability, to qualify this energy, consciously directing with what the seeming need demanded, whether it was money, whether it was this, that, or the other. We have the ability to do it. Thus, the energy may produce for our use gold, silver, money, food, clothing, means of conveyance, or whatever the conscious demand is. So I want an ashram, a place where people could come and stay and do the practices. And so I don't see the ashram now, but it occurred to me. My guru said that the ashram is anywhere that you do spiritual practices every day. When you're doing the practices morning, noon, and night, that is the ashram. So right now, my apartment is the ashram, but I'm looking for a house, and I got land, so I can build a house on that land. Or wherever God is going to send me to create the ashram in that place, then all those people who are here listening, y'all can come and stay there. You can stay there 3 days for free, and then if you want to stay longer, you pay to stay there so I can buy food and everything else for y'all. All this you must claim with determined conscious effort, which knows that in the conscious demand is the I am presence, speaking and acting. I want to keep saying this, y'all. As you open your mouth, the God presence is manifesting, no matter what you say. As you open your mouth and use the power of the spoken word, the God presence is acting through you as you. So be clear about this. You'll say curses, you're cursing people with the power of God. And I don't mean curse words, I mean actual spells like the Satanists do. When you're doing that, you're using the power of God to curse somebody. And you're doing, and you could just as easily bless somebody with the power of the spoken word, and they will be blessed according to the power that you have built up within yourself. All right, let's keep it moving. Therefore, it has all power and authority to clothe whatever the demand is with its kind. Therefore, it has all power and authority to clothe whatever the demand is with its kind. If this power of the spoken word is speaking for the blessing someone else, it's going to bless them. If it's speaking for wealth and prosperity, it's going to bring wealth and prosperity to them or you. If it has whatever it has, if you want to be a great basketball player, you do that, right? You practice basketball and you'll become that, or whatever it is that you want to do. You are putting that power in there. Now check this out. Let's say you want to build something, a house. Now I build houses, right? I've been a carpenter since 1976. If I draw a blueprint plan, first I speak this thing, I want to build a house or I want to build an ashram. Then if I start drawing up blueprint plans for this place, now I'm bringing that thing into reality in words, in an actual platform, right? I see it existing. It's not the house yet, but I see it existing, right? Like writing down your goals, right? Once I get the money to start hiring the architect to write them up clearly, the engineers to tell us what we got to do with the lands, to connect to the water and connect to the electrical devices and all this, right? Then I bring in the carpenters and the plumbers and electricians and so forth and so on. They build that house into reality exactly as I thought it, right before my eyes, right? The ascended masters could do it like that through the power of the spoken word and manifest that house just like that. But we're doing it too. We're just doing it in stages. So what we want comes to us. And as we move with the power of the spoken word, we will be able to manifest in front of our eyes just like that, because that's how they build their houses in the inner realms. All right, let's continue. In the consciousness that you are the I am presence acting at all times, you then must know that you are that moment of recognition and an invincible magnet of attraction. In other words, you are activating the atoms and electrons that are all around you, that are trillions, that are legions. And the more you use it, the more power you get. The more you use it, the more you get the ability to manifest. Okay, let me start over with that. The consciousness that you are the I am presence acting at all times. You then must know that you are that moment of recognition and an invincible magnet of attraction, which causes every activity of the universe to rush to you to fulfill the demand. How's it filling the demand? Through the power of the spoken word. Right, y'all? Right. How'd it go? In the beginning, there was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. So what are they telling us? You are God using the power of the spoken word. The only reason it does not seem to be so is because somewhere in your consciousness, there is a feeling of uncertainty, either of your ability, of your authority, or the omnipresence of it to act, which you are. But I assure you, as one having attained and having gone through the complete process of attaining, that it is a pleasure, the privilege of myself and others to place before you these simple laws, yet mighty and invincible in their activity, which will give you freedom and dominion over all things that seem to be such a mountain of obstruction in your way. As you continue to accept and use these laws in your activity, you will find that you are attaining dominion, not only over the one element, but all four elements: earth, water, air, and fire. When you have become conscious of the flame of your divinity, you are acting from the highest of the four elements, which is fire, and the true activity of spirit. That's the spirit in your heart. Unfortunately, for most of us, what is this? Battery is low. We need to hook this up.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, that heat that you feel in your body, that's the fire that is that highest element that we're talking about. Unfortunately for us, that fire is only about a 16th inch big in the human condition that exists now, instead of being a foot long inside of us, going from here to here. It's a 16th. That's the sadness of our reality. But we can cause that fire to become into a flame as we continuously say use the power of the spoken word and bless people, bless ourselves through the action, and do the prayers, decrees, chanting, meditation, building our character, giving up criticism, condemnation, judgment, blame, giving up lying. Start out with lying. If you tell a lie, you don't want nobody to know that you're lying. So say the mantra again, 11 times in your mind. Bring it back. Call that lie back. If you say it in front of people, say, you know what, that's a lie. I'm sorry, y'all. Boom. Bring it back. Start working on your character. Don't let it be like I'm holier than thou and so forth and so on. Just let it know, that's a lie. I'm sorry. Boom, 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 like this, and we correct ourselves. We correct ourselves in front of God, right? And he says, okay, they learn it. All right, we'll help them out. When you have become conscious of the flame of your divinity, you are acting from the highest of the four elements, which is fire. Okay. As the conscious activity is to the unconscious, so is the conscious use of the flame to the recognition of the light. The natural element of your soul is the flame, accounting for ancient fire and sun worship back in the days, in ancient times, how people worship the sun and fire and so forth and so on. According to the ancient fire and sun worship, when one becomes conscious that he can use the direct, this consuming flame, he has entered into the mighty power. When one becomes conscious that he can use and direct this consuming flame, he has entered into the mighty power. That flame will rise up into you, even when it becomes like an inch big, right? You become conscious. Oh man, I'm feeling it in my very being, right? And you'll start manifesting. You'll start manifesting, right? As you say that mantra, you'll see God in front of you. You'll see your God self right in front of you. You'll start seeing. When one becomes conscious that he has dominion over the four elements, he has but to practice its use to become conscious that he may direct the lightning, master the storm, control water, and walk in the midst of fire unharmed. Will you kindly tell me how any being can have the use of anything until he acknowledges it and knows that he has the ability to make it his servant in use? Y'all get it? All right, boom. Imagine this, okay? Bust it. You got money. You got your mansion. You get a butler. You tell that butler to do something, you're going to do it. Why? You pay him, right? He has come within your power to serve you because you given him money. It is the same with the power of the spoken word, commanding and gaining the influence and power over all that is around us to get whatever we want. This is how this works. This is how this is working right here. Just like that. This is how this is working. All right. Then by the practice of its use, he becomes absolutely invincible in this direction. I'm going to say that again because Lord Jesus, this is what I like about Jesus. He is dropping jewels here. He's telling us, look, y'all want to gain mastery, practice, practice, practice. Practice, practice, practice. You will get dominion. You will get power. You will get instant manifestation. All right. Then by the practice of its use, he becomes absolutely invincible in its direction. I wish so earnestly to make clear to you that you are being given and taught the exact laws which I use and which everyone who has attained the ascended state must use. So these things that are being done in these ashrams and these retreats of the gods and these masters, that is kind of like closed down for us now, unless we go so powerful and we clean ourselves up so dearly that they come. Believe me, they can come. Brother Hank, they come to Brother Hank. I'm telling you now. And Hank ain't no ordinary dude. I want y'all to know. Anyway, bust it. They may come, knocking on the door at your house and says, I'm the mailman giving you delivery. And that person could be Ascended Master. Or a dove may appear at your window and have a piece of a slip right in his mouth that's just for you. And they're going to tell you to meet them someplace because they're calling on you. You get so pure that they're calling you, and they bring you into these ashrams and these retreats of the gods and other ascended masters. And you don't come out of there what you was. You come out of there ascended. Okay? I just want to let you know, you come out of there ascended. It's not like you do these things. You don't give to God and get nothing in return. It does not work like that. I want y'all to know, it does not work like that. You give to God, and in the same way that nature gives to you, God gives to you. You plant an apple in the ground. You don't get back another apple. You get back a tree that gives you apples for who knows how long, and thousands of them. This is how it is with God. All you got to do is practice, 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 and you're going to get it. All right, let's keep on. Let's continue. It is all a matter of use. Once you know of these laws and that the I am presence, which you are, has all intelligence, power, and authority to consciously direct the energy through the outer activity of your mind, then do you not fear to use it to heal, to prosper, to bless, and to enlighten your fellow man? Erase from your mind whatever that there can be any selfishness in your conscious recognition that the I am presence is directed. Just throw it out, because it's directing everything we do. It matters not what you require for your attainment, wherein it makes you more able or of greater ability and power to bless. Then start practicing it, y'all. Walk in the streets, see somebody that's indigent, see somebody that's down on their luck. They're a bum in the street. All you gotta do is think to your mind, God bless you, my brother. God bless you, my sister. God bless you. Just throw it out through the power of spoken word. You'll think that it's not gonna bless them. It's going to bless them. Especially if it's coming deep within your heart, it's going to bless them, and you can't even stop it. You can't even stop it. And this is what's deep. This is what's really deep. 60% of that blessing that you give to someone else is coming directly back to you. 60%. Why? It came out of you. You evoked it through the power of the spoken word. It's coming out of you. Like doing something wrong to somebody. Remember this, y'all. Doing something wrong. When you do that, oh, it's another manifestation. Because it comes in you first, damaging you, and then goes out and damages those that you used, especially through the power of the spoken word that you used. It goes out and damages you. Then it makes its return trip back to you. But it don't just come just like that, right? It don't come just like that. The way it comes is picking up all the other power that it gathered through the universe and then comes back and hits you like a lightning bolt. Anything negative. I hope I made that clear, y'all. You send out a curse to somebody, it's going to get them. But it's going to gather all the electrons and all that energy, and it's going to come back to you, and it's going to get you. Because you put it out there, right? You send it out single file, but it comes back to you in battalions. So don't expect you're going, just like you planted that apple on the ground and you got a tree of apples, you send out curses, you're going to get a battalion of curses coming back to you. Word to the wise. Then do you not see that there can be no selfishness in the desire for this great attainment and perfection? For any individual to feel that he must wait upon the attainment of another is a great mistake. In individuals may attain only through their own conscious effort and this wonderful recognition. No one can grow for another or attain for another, but each may be immense help to the other by knowing with intensity, I am the only presence and intelligence acting within that individual for the one you wish to help. In other words, you want to help somebody, don't think it's you helping them. God is helping them. You know, you stay out of it. God is helping them. Whatever you think you're doing, let it know that God is doing that. You want to benefit them, and your benefit is effective. It's God affecting that reality that you put forth. You putting it out there. God working through you at all times. This may be qualified with whatever the person seems to need most. Every individual's first duty is adoration and love to the one mighty I am presence, which is everywhere present, which is you, which is us. I love you, Lord. Thank you. You know, somebody give you something. You know, there's guys out in the street right now. They're testing people, right? They go up and they're begging them for money. You know, they're doing stuff like that. They got plenty of money. They just want to see if you're going to give it to them. You give it to them. You must have seen this on YouTube or one of these other media platforms. I only know YouTube, y'all, because I'm not into the social media much at all. I will get into it to try to reach more people, and so they give this one. They're begging for money, you know, or they're begging for food. I seen this one guy. He's begging for food, right? And he just standing right outside the door of the supermarket. And when somebody gives him food, he's like, how much you paid for all this food? How much did it come out to? About 200, 300, 100? And then he takes out his pocket, the amount they paid for that food and pay for the whole thing. So it's like that, y'all. It's like that. Who knows who these people are, right? We could do the same thing. Do you not see how in this it is a joyous privilege to love your so-called enemy? Because I am the only real presence and activity everywhere. If the ignorance of the outer activity of the mind seems to have created disorder, pain, and limitation, then you know that the miscreation has no power of its own. There is nothing but the wrong belief of the individual to sustain it. Consequently, it has no sustaining power. If you have, now this is powerful, y'all. If you have been unfortunate enough to create inharmony, disorder, limitations, then can you not see that you alone, through the power of your I am presence, the consuming flame, must consciously call on the law of forgiveness, consumed through that flame of life, which you are, everything in your world, which you have wrongly created. Let me speak on something that blew my mind that Saint Germain said. He said, in the universe, not on planet Earth, not in America, not in New York or whatever place we live in. He said the most powerful negative thing that we're putting out there is criticism, condemnation, judgment, or blame. That's what he said. He said, and this is a problem in the universe, not just planet Earth, the universe. And then he said, this is the remedy. And it blew my mind because he said, repeat the law of forgiveness. Repeat the law of forgiveness. When you do wrong, repeat the law of forgiveness. I am a mighty I am presence, the ascended masters. Whenever I know this by heart, but whenever I try to do it in front of people, it seems like it disappears in my mind. I am the law of forgiveness and the consuming flame of all inharmonious actions and human consciousness that goes into all life everywhere on this earth. Forgives all discord, forgive all this. See, I am the law of forgiveness and the consuming flame of all inharmonious actions and human consciousness that goes into all evil everywhere on this earth. Call it back. That's not the whole mantra. Call it back by doing that. And when you do it, when you send out something negative to someone, FW, can you bring my decrees right on the puja right over there on the second shelf of my altar? When you do that, the daily decrees and nightly decrees, bring them both. When you do that, you nullify what you put out. So when you criticize, condemn, judge, blame of any person, place, condition, or thing, right? Bring it back. I want to read it to you directly. This is what we read every day. So when we're doing the practices in the morning, remember, I'm gonna be here at 7:30 tomorrow, and all of y'all that's gonna be doing these practices throughout the week. These are the things we're gonna be doing. I wanna say it correctly, even though I know about heart. I guess I'm getting shy in front of y'all or whatever, or the law of forgiveness right here, right? Bust it. I am my beloved I am presence and ascended masters, law of forgiveness and the consuming flame of all inharmonious actions in human consciousness that goes into all life everywhere on this earth, forgives all discord, forgives everything that is of discord by filling it with and covering over with the violent consuming flame and fiery Christ blue light and indestructible purity that consumes all evil, all lack and limitations everywhere throughout the world forever. Now, when we say something negative, when we criticize any person, anything, right? Saint Germain says, say this silently. I send to you the fullness of divine love of my being to bless and prosper you. That's simple. And I sent this to everyone. And whoever didn't get the decrees and everything that I sent out like 5 attachments. Just call me and I'll send it to you again because it's so large. Some people didn't get it because they're so large and they didn't go through. But just call me and I'll send it out again. All this is free, y'all. I send to you the fullness of divine love of my being to bless and prosper you. That's all you say after you say the law of forgiveness. And when I first got this, right? When I understood, and I was just so excited that I understood, oh man, I got it. And I was so happy to have it, right? I start carrying the law of forgiveness around with me wherever I go because I was doing so much criticism, condemnation, and judging. I'm like, I'm going to keep this with me. So when I catch myself, I'm going to say it, all right? And once I got it like that, this is a remarkable thing happened. Now, I used to live in a building called a Galaxy, and I'm going to go back there too because it was a wonderful place to live. In fact, this building was rated, right? So it was rated the 10th nicest building on planet Earth, right? So in that building, they had a garage that goes around and around, right? So I go to the car. I'm going to Hunts Point to buy my food because that's where I used to buy the food. So I get a box of apples for $5, $10, or $20, depending on the season. There'd be 50 apples or 60 apples there, right? And so I get into the car, but I had accidentally put my wallet, which had 4 bank accounts, my driver's license, and so many things in it, right? I put it on top of the car, and I forgot to take it off. Now, I'm telling y'all, this was the angels watching over me because I really got, this is something I can correct within myself, right? So I get in the car, here my wallet and everything is there. Now I got to go around in a circle, and I drive pretty fast. And I'm going around and round and round. That's just to get out of the parking lot that was in my building. It's like 16 floors, right? So I'm out. Boom, I'm out. Then I'm driving from Jersey to Hunts Point in the Bronx. Anybody know that? I got to go over the George Washington Bridge and on the Bronx Expressway, Bronx Coast River Expressway, which is a crowded expressway, and it's always crowded. And it's always stop and go and stop and go, stop and go. Now I get through the highway and get off at the Hunts Point exit, right? So just as I'm making a turn to go into a few blocks before I get to Hunts Point, there's a guy begging at the corner. You know, the people come in, they want to wash your windows or do this or that. You got $1, this, that, and the other. So the guy asked me for $1. So I reached to get $1 for him, right? But he goes on the top of my car and he pulls out my wallet. He goes, "Is this yours?" And it had money in it too. He says, "Is this yours, my man?" I'm like, Lord Jesus is God. How in the world did that thing stay on the top of my car all that drive? If y'all know anything about New York driving, it ain't like anywhere else, y'all. New York is cuckoo. And I'm like, God looking out. God looking out. The angels kept that thing on there for me. And I'm like, oh man, boy, I need to know. God, thank you, Lord. You know, y'all, that's how it works. That's how it works. Now, how in the world? So I took out my wallet. I gave that brother $20. I already gave one. I gave him $20. And my son was in the car with me. I'm like, son, this is how it works. But he already knows. He came here on another light. I brought him here on a light. And this book I'm telling you about, that those who want to read it along with me, I'm going to read one chapter through the week, Monday to Friday. It's about, as I mentioned, it's about the genocide of the black men on the planet Earth. But that's just the first genocide. They're coming after everybody, right? And I call the book Faction because what's in it is fictionalized, but it's facts. All right. It's how you bring in children. It's the science of how you bring in God-like children. Jesus did not come here accidentally. None of the spiritual masters did. The reason they came here like they came here is because their parents were holy beings. And the ones that had the science to do this, like Anna and Imran, who was Jesus' grandparents, they do it through that science. And Ptah, I'm telling you now, when you read the part where he comes to, where the candidate goes to Nibiru to study with Ptah, you're going to be like, you're going to feel good about yourself. All right? I'm telling you now, because he's dropping the knowledge on the candidate, whose name is Bhishma. He drops the knowledge on how you prepare to do this process. So those who want to hear, after we do our, and those who have the time, after we do our practice in the morning, we'll read one chapter. The book is going to be out with about 2 months. Okay, let me continue. This should easily make it clear to you how you set about to cleanse your world of its disorder and its mistaken creations. Then you stand forth, clothed with the sun, the light of eternal life, youth, beauty, and opulence, holding within your hand, for instance, your scepter of power of the I am presence, which you are. So every one of us has a scepter, y'all. I just want y'all to know that. Every one of us has a scepter. A scepter is a symbol. It's like a rod that you have power over all of the universe. Anyway, it is, and in fact, there are people get scepters. Human beings, like Hitler would give a scepter for the African continent to that one of his leaders. His name was Ramo. Ramo was a bad man, boy. He was rocking and rolling in Africa, conquering. Okay, so Hitler gave him the scepter, and all he had to do was pull out the scepter, and anybody that knows will know, yo, nobody is above Ramo. And I don't know what y'all know about World War II history, but Ramo was a bad dude, boy. He was a bad mama jama. He was not playing in Africa. He was conquering, and he was not losing. All right. So Hitler gave him the scepter over Africa. I also want to tell y'all this. Everything y'all read about Hitler, everything they said was a lie. Everything. Do some research. I don't want to say too much, y'all. Do some research, and you'll find out for yourself. My God, what you will find out. Matter of fact, I need to make a little comment on this. I was in the history, the African history study group in New York in City College, and we got so deep in the study and in research, it seemed like everybody in the study group knew everything. That I just started playing with study, playing with research, playing with knowledge. And so one of the things I said, you know what? Let's put in a physics equation, history, right? And let's see what it would be like if Hitler did not win World War II. My God, y'all. My God, what opened up. I couldn't believe what I discovered. I couldn't believe what I discovered. Talk about mind-blowing. Talk about opening up your mind to what you've been told as to what actually happened. Incredible. And this is how it is with everything that we have learned, from history to math and everything in between. It is all lies. Now let's realize what this does to us. What is the level about? I'm sorry?
I said, I know what you talk about.
Great. That's Simiku, y'all. He been here every day. If there ain't nobody here, Simiku will be here. That's the voice y'all just heard. So, and he gonna be reading, and anybody else that wants to read some of this book, they got the book. I'm inviting y'all to read, because I don't need to be the only one reading here. All right. So y'all just gotta text me. I like to take a page, or I like to do this chapter, or whatever y'all want to do. I want y'all to know and ask questions. As I'm the only one talking here now, y'all. So Simiku did, and so anybody got a question, please ask it now. All right, as we're moving along, because your question will help out other people that's listening. Anyway, also, y'all want to know about the Eisenhower death camps, where 9 million people were killed. 9 million Germans were killed at the end of World War II in Germany. All right. I don't want to say too much, because the sinister forces are listening, and they will block this transmission if we say what they don't want us to say. And always remember this about knowledge. Saint Germain says, to know, to dare, to do, and to keep silent. As a matter of fact, I want to tell. I need to put this in here because it is so important. Some of y'all know about the UCC, Uniform Commercial Codes. There's one brother. I mean, go into it. It's super duper high powered, and it gives you the money that you got. Everybody on here is a multimillionaire, and you don't even know it. And I'm not talking figuratively. I'm talking there's an account with your name on it and your number, your serial number on it. Okay. That was started when you was born. They put a bond on you when you were born. They took $1.5 million from your mother's a bond. They took $1.5 million from your father's bond, and they put that bond on the open market, the NASDAQ, and every other what do you call it? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The NASDAQ and all the stocks and so forth all over the world. Somebody's mic is open. All right. All right. And they've been doing that ever since the day you was, not the day you was born, maybe a week after or so forth after, right? Then they put your name in all capital letters, and that bond has been making money for you ever since you were born. All right, now bust this. There was a guy who became expert in it. He actually was an accountant for the Federal Reserve, and he was a preacher too, right? And he goes out, and he's just doing the thing, and he's rocking and rolling, telling people this, that, and the other. He rocking and rolling, right? Then he made a mistake. This is what the silence is about. He went on a public forum and started dropping it like it's hot. He was giving that knowledge like nobody's business. All right. So they call him in the court. Now he's an expert, y'all. He's so expert that the IRS himself will call him up to do things. And remember, he is a preacher, okay? So he comes into court. He had about 22 applications that he put forth to get money, which y'all could do and learn too. And we'll talk about that later. In fact, I started a study group for this, and then the people in the group didn't read the material. So I said, okay, y'all, I'm cutting this right now, because if you're not reading it, the time I'm wasting with y'all, I could be doing my own, applications in regard to the UCC. So he's in court, and he asked the judge, he says, Your Honor, what did I do wrong? He said, you did everything right except for one thing. And he says, Your Honor, in all humility, I ask you, please tell me what I did wrong. He says, you went out on a public forum dropping this knowledge. If we wanted everybody to know about Joint Resolution 192, we'd have publicized it. So you're going to get 60 days for that. He told him if you would have stayed in your own little town and told everybody in your town what to do, it'd have been fine. But you went in a public forum dropping what should be open knowledge, but it's super secret. And he got them people millions and millions of dollars. What millions of dollars is it? Your own millions of dollars that have been working for you ever since you were born. Everybody in here, man, if you over your 50s, you either got billions or hundreds of millions of dollars. Remember this: to know, to dare, to do, and to be silent. Word to the wise. It is important to know that this one mighty energy does all things according to the quality you give it, or the wish you want fulfilled. One thing students should be intensely conscious of, and that is, I am the eternal harmonizing presence and activity everywhere I move, and of everything to which my thought is directed. This constantly used with the feeling of its invincible power will keep the atmosphere of your world purified, harmonized, and held in readiness for any conscious direction to go forth with great speed to its accomplishment. Man, this stuff is so self-manifesting. When you wish to speak with authority, silently to or of another individual, speak his given name, and you will find the help, the energy sent, much more easily received. Right? You want to help Billy, Bob, or George down the road, right? You may be miles away. Speak his name, and then bless him. Just that simple. Speak his name and then bless him. Anyway, okay, let's get on. It is like calling the attention of a person to whom you wish to speak. Naturally, your first impulse is, if you are going to speak to one of the family, you first say Don, Mary, or Dick to get his or her attention. And then you proceed to give your message. So it is when directing the energy silent. Within the inner world, in this recognition and use of the I am presence, know that I am everywhere present, omnipresent, right? You see how you may speak to one across the earth through the I am presence as readily as though that one stood in the room in your physical appearance. Now check this out, y'all. I want y'all to practice this. I want y'all to see what I'm talking about, all right? Call somebody mentally who you want to call you right now. I mean, not now, not at this moment, but who you want to call you. Just call them. So you got somebody in India, you know, in Africa, you know, or like this, or maybe start somewhere close by, you know, because it doesn't matter how far they are, but start close by. Be in a room and check this out, right? Be in a room and tell somebody, scratch their head. Just throw the energy to them and say, scratch your head. Not out loud, mentally, scratch your head. Say it over and over again. Scratch your head, scratch your head. Or Billy, scratch your head. Bob, scratch your head. Tony, scratch your head, scratch your head. Just keep saying it and watch what happens. Watch what happens, y'all. I used to play around like this. I'm sitting in my seat. I ain't told y'all to mess with people, but just see how this power, and it's just mental power, right? Watch how it happens, all right? I warn you, if you attempt to use this knowledge to harm another, then remember that through your own soul and body will pass the bolt or your intent to another. Try always to remember that you are not human beings, so-called, but you are gods and goddesses in embryo. Let's say that again. I don't want nobody to miss this. Try to remember that you are not human beings, so-called, but you are gods and goddesses in embryo, which through the conscious effort, you can bring into full dominion. Just like a baby in the womb becomes a human or comes out. They don't come out as human, y'all. I want to let you know now. They come out godly. And then because of the horrors that they experience here, and they come out geniuses. right? Because of the horrors that they experience here, we build our egos to protect ourselves. And then we mistakenly go into that ego and start existing as that ego. We think what we build to protect ourselves is us, and it's not. It should be like the tube of light, or the water blue flame, or the violet flame, something to protect us. But what we do is we start thinking that we are the personality that we formed, that we built, which is the ego, and we are not that, right? But because of the power of the spoken word, and because of us deciding that we are, we become that. And we start living in that. And we start acting like that. And then if our horrors are so great that nothing but evil comes before us, we become more evil to deal with the evil that's beset us. And the next thing you know, we believe that we are the evil that we're trying to protect ourselves against. And we're even more evil than the evil that has come upon us. Or we just use this wickedness at will all the time, to the point where nobody even wants to come around us. And bust this, you will end up giving off a smell, a stinking smell, if you get that evil. And no cologne is really going to protect you or stop it. And then you give off a vibe of wickedness to a person to just see you and back up. This is how it works. It works on multiple levels. All right, let's get down with the get down, y'all. Does anybody have any questions? I mean, see, this is how Jesus is. He be dropping it so hard, he be dropping it that you mesmerized. I'm sitting here listening. I don't know if y'all listen. I'm listening to this, and he's crushing it. He's crushing it. He's like, this is how you get it, y'all. I did it like this. Do this, and you're going to have the same results I got. And in other chapters in this book, he says that I don't want y'all to see me as some godly being that came to earth. I was human, and I did this, and I attained. Y'all can do the same thing that I did. Y'all are my brothers and sisters. Y'all here praying to me and all this kind of stuff. What you should be doing is using the tools I use to get where I am. Christ is not a surname. It is a state of consciousness. We become the Christ. Right? We're not becoming Jesus. We become the Christ. Anyway, let me be honest. When I first read this chapter a long time ago, I was like, good God Almighty, he's crushing the game. He's telling us exactly what we need to do to become the Christ, to become our own God self, to merge back into our God self. Anyway, I say to you, beloved students of light, Aracel, awaken to the fullness of your God dominion. That he's talking to a particular person whose name is Aracel. She's in the audience where they were in 1932, right? I say to you, beloved students of light, Aracel, awaken to the fullness of your God dominion. Fearlessly use the conscious knowledge and direction of this mighty I am energy for your freedom, prosperity, blessings, and enlightenment. Each of you is a glittering, dazzling jewel of light projected into a world of chaos and darkness. That radiance of your light may expand, and again expand, that all darkness of the earth be consumed in this mighty radiance of the I am presence, which you are. Do not hesitate, beloved children. Grasp this scepter of your power and dominion. Use it to heal, to bless, to prosper, to enlighten, and you will find all earthly things bowing before you and rushing to fulfill your slightest demand. Such beloved ones, beloved brothers and sisters, the one mighty presence, which I am, is the conscious ability I convey to you this day with your self-sustaining strength, courage, power, and enlightenment to go forth, attaining your freedom now with these personal rays, which I project to each of you for these 2 weeks. I assure you, these rays are no idle fancy, but a tangible current of energy containing in it all things and blessing you according to your acceptance. I clothe you in the mantle of light within it, all power. I hold you close in my mighty embrace, and I am with you every hour. Saint Germain. Now, Saint Germain is coming in to finish off this chapter because he asked Jesus to come and speak. He asked Jesus, he asked the god Himalaya, the god Tabor, and other masters and stuff like this, because he started out alone. Saint Germain started out alone to save the earth. I want y'all to know. Planet Earth is the most wicked planet in the entire universe. And there are 500 trillion galaxies in this universe. And this is the smallest universe of all. But I want y'all to put that in perspective. Here is one tiny little planet, a speck of dust in the scheme of things. And there's 500 trillion planets in this universe alone. And this is the worst place to be? This is the worst place to be? It was so bad in 1932, the great beings in the great central sun said, destroy the earth, destroy it. This level of wickedness is such that it may contaminate the whole of the universe. Saint Germain said, give me a chance to turn this planet around. Give me a chance. I have a disciple that's just taken birth. Give me a chance to do this. Initially, he was the only one rocking and rolling to make this thing happen. He was the only one. Then when the other gods and the other ascended masters, and they gave him the chance. Let me stop before I go on. They gave him the chance, and they was like, yo, you asking a lot here. You asking a lot. And he put up his own ascension on the line. If I don't do this, I go back to being a human. I go back. I lose everything. And they said, so be it. You got your chance. This is the work, y'all. This is the work. What we're doing right now is the work. And check this out. Y'all may think that y'all did some negative karma to be born on earth. Many people are cursed to come to earth. But those who are listening to this program right now, y'all came here to ascend. And don't think for 1 nanosecond that you came to the most wicked planet in the earth because you wicked. Y'all came here to do the work. So as y'all gain mastery in this work, then y'all need to be going out and dropping exactly what I'm dropping right now. Hard. Now, it took 40-something years for me to get to even this place, and I'm not perfected yet. And that's because of my own lapse. My own lapse. But we came here to turn this planet. And remember, if you become ascended in a planet like this, the most wicked planet, you by yourself can go to any wicked planet in the universe and change that whole place. That's how powerful you becoming ascended in this world is. Take it into consideration, y'all. Take it into consideration. This is why Saint Germain said, if you do the decrees that I sent every one of y'all, that one page takes 1 minute and 37 seconds. 1 minute and 37 seconds. 60 seconds and 37 seconds. Nothing. He'll grant you ascension in this lifetime. If you do nothing else but do that, he will grant you ascension. Now, to attain ascension otherwise is an extreme meritorious, arduous effort. But to be given the ascension for 1 minute and 37 seconds because you helped him to turn this planet around by saying the decrees that I sent to everyone, that's more than a boon, y'all. Because our lives is nanosecond in the scheme of things. And to take this, however many few years we got to live on earth, even if you live to be 150, to say that one thing 1.5 minutes every day, ascended beings do not go back on their word. Their words are law. To say that, to say those decrees every day, or just say one of them, the first one that I put up before you get out of bed, right? What is that one? Right here. These first decrees, I tell y'all to say the first thing before you even get out of bed, because it only take 1 minute and 34 seconds to say this. If somebody want to time me, I ain't gonna do it now. I don't want this. But say this one. Beloved, mighty I am present. I demand a miracle love from the great central sun come in, through, and around. No, I'm sorry. That's the wrong one. That's the one that set up the power of your decrees. Beloved, mighty I am present. Such freedom, health, prosperity, and harmonious action shall come forth for America and the world as have never before been experienced on earth. What did that take? 5 seconds? But the whole page of decrees that I sent y'all, and that's on page, I think it might come to y'all because I read this. That's on page right after the wall of the tube of light, the wall of blue flame, and the violet consuming flame. All of those are covetous or protective decrees. If you'll say this when it says decrees for America, that page takes a minute and 37 seconds. To say that once a day and to be granted ascension for that, or in other words, he gonna make you godlike because you did this tiny little thing. It's not even tiny. It's a lot smaller than this. It's like what you'd call a paramanu, right? What is a paramanu? The smallest particle of earth passing a ray of sunlight. That's how tiny it is in comparison of what you're gonna get. Man, you know, I'm telling y'all, this is if Saint Germain said he's gonna give it to you, take advantage of this. Take advantage. Okay, let's get back to Saint Germain now. Again, you have been blessed by that electrifying presence. I need not add to it unless there are questions. And I'm asking y'all to please give me some questions, okay? With anything that y'all that I have not made clear. When you realize, now this is Saint Germain talking now. All that was thing that we read before was Jesus. This is Saint Germain talking now. When you realize that I am is the only presence, power, and ability to think in your brain cells, and you are accepting only the activity of the I am presence, then you make it the all power fulfilling every outer desire. Therefore, if you wish something needful in the outer activity, it is the I am presence producing it through your conscious demand, which has nothing to do with so-called human desires. The human is the ego, y'all. When they speak about human, they're talking about the ego. They're not talking about your God self. Human and ego are synonymous. Say often, I am always, this is the decree, y'all. Say often, I am always loving obedience unto the light. Everything will become more alert, more quickened, and more powerfully projected as you use the I am presence more and more. The great central sun magnet, the more one is conscious of the great magnet working, the more powerful it acts in his own sphere. An awakened individual never uses a destructive force. When the master of supreme projected the force and the army was killed. This y'all can read this story in the Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. This is a super duper volume of works. It's a 6-volume jammy. These guys came to destroy these people. They were in the Himalayan mountains, right? And they were bandits, and they came to destroy them. Jesus unleashed a decree. It wasn't a decree to destroy. He unleashed the decree to bless them, to bless these people who were coming to do harm, right? But because of their negativity and their willingness to kill, they recharged that own energy, and the force collapsed in on them without any of the other force going to stop them or do anything. The very force that they requalified with their evil intent immediately manifested on them. And avalanches and earthquakes and everything just devoured them. Y'all can hear this story in this book called The Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. It's a 6-volume work. It is so super duper high powerful. I can't even tell you. In fact, when I would go to retreats and everything around the world and, you know, to beat masters and this and that, because I'm a bibliophile, I love books, right? I would say, what's the most powerful? I would ask people, what's the most powerful book you read? And over again, I heard The Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. Over and over again, I heard that. You know, so that might be a book that y'all would love to get and read. All right, let me continue. I'm gonna start from there. The great centers of blah, blah, blah. An awakened individual. I'm gonna read that over again. An awakened individual never uses a destructive force. When the masters of supreme projected the force and the army was killed, he simply projected it for the protection of his people. And the destructive qualities with which the others brought with them to slay and kill qualified the force sent out by the master. All right. And it destroyed those who sent their destructive qualities out. You can see how easily it would do that. when they came to destroy. Now let me put an understanding of this so we realize how this is working in us every day. Every day. The energy of God is coming directly into our head every second, every nanosecond of every day. If we choose to act like gods, we are. And the more we choose to be in that state, we are. But if we choose to curse, to criticize, to condemn, to this one, that one, bing, bing, bob, now we're being something else. So we're requalifying the God energy that we are. That's how that works, y'all. That's how that works. We are God, and the energy, man, when I first saw this energy, I was like, oh my God. I was transferred into another dimension at the time, and I could see all the things that was in that dimension. But what I saw was this God force coming like a tornado right down from my Trinity into my head. It was only then that I understood what it meant when it said, we are God. The power, but because we are God and we live in a free will zone, we requalify that God energy. We act demonically, or we act in one way or another. We requalify it as humans, and we bring about all kind of negativity in ourselves. Instead of being immortal, we die. Instead of having everything we want, we don't. It's by sending out all this negative energy. Y'all got no idea how much negative energy we got coming back to us from other lifetimes, because we've been requalifying God energy for who knows how long. I want to say that again. For who knows how long. But we can start requalifying it now in this very life, and we can become ascended in this very life, guaranteed. Guaranteed. And we have hundreds, if not thousands of ascended masters, maybe even millions, that will be right behind us, and God, the Supreme Lord of the universe himself, to see to it that we attain it. So you just got to know. I'm ready to tell you another story. I'm going to tell you, I was a gangster, all right? And the cops were after me. But I was having these experiences all the while. I'm having experiences I was a little boy, you know? I'm having experiences I was a little boy. And they told me, we're going to come after you, and we're going to kill you. I know that may sound strange to you. They told me this when I was 12. And exactly what they told me. And these were guys that were looking out for me. These were cops that was looking out for me. You know, I told this story in one of the podcasts, and y'all can listen to it if y'all like. And so when they came after me, I had plenty, good gobs of money. You know, on a best day for me anyway, that was $375, $375,000 a day, right? $375 a day. So when I'm ready, I know they're after me. One of my cops came to me and he told me, look, they coming after you. And I told them, they ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing. They ain't going to do nothing. They can't touch me. He said, they know that. They just going to pick you up. And when you get there, the thing you hated, and they resented you for doing it, because I cleaned out heroin in the community. You know, y'all want to hustle, y'all can sell reefer. Y'all can't sell heroin around here. They ain't like that, because they're making lots of money off it. Y'all got to realize, the cops, the FBI, CIA, they're bringing this in here to destroy us. They're bringing that in here. Okay? They said they ain't like it. So they're going to hit you with that. It's going to be on the table in the precinct when you get there. So I had a plan. This is what I mean by prayers without works are dead. So I knew I was doing something that I could be put in a position, right? So I have a plan. So when it does happen, if I got noticed, I can get in the win. Now, I always wanted to know about the spiritual masters and ascended masters. So I set up a plan that I would go meet all the ones that were visiting America at the time. The first one I met, told me, he just took me in. He was like, you mine, Home Slice. Whatever you thought was happening, you are part of my plan. And he literally had set it in motion that these people were going to be coming after me, these FBI and police, right? But my plan was such that as soon as I got a whiff of it, I always had at least $5,000 in my pocket. Bam, I'm gone. I'm gone. And the first person I went to, Swami Muktananda Paramahansa. And from there, my whole life changed. So even though you're doing wickedness, right? If you want to be in the light, go to the light. Let the light be there to save you. And remember this at all times. It is not always going to be there. And it's your choices that will let you be there. It is your choices, right? Because I could have went someplace else. I could have went here, hide out with some other hustlers that were my friends and stuff like that. People I could call on to get $1 million just cash like that. But I said, let me go and hang out with these masters that I always wanted to learn about. I had never traveled anywhere. The furthest I traveled from New York was New Jersey, right? And once I met the master, we did 3 world tours. And I was real clear back then, y'all. I was real clear. He's not going to be around forever. And I made a determination at that moment when he took me in, you know, which was 7 days after I met him. He gave me experience of myself as God. Y'all have no idea what this will do to you. I'm going to repeat it again. You'll have no idea what this will do to you. It will haunt you for the rest of your life. You will go after that like your life depends on it, and it does. Once you get the experience of God, imagine this. You, the drop, will realize and experience yourself as the ocean. And you are aware of every single solitary wave in that ocean. And that ocean is nothing but love. It is incredible. No ego can exist in there. All forgiveness is automatic. It is so high powered and so super duper. You will change your ways. You will. You cannot help it. This is life, y'all. This is life. You can turn your life around at any moment that you want to. Now let me finish up. Let me finish up here. Yeah, I know. 8:30 we in. I mean, it's 12:30 we in. It's 12:08 now. That's my wife, y'all. 32 years of being married. Lord Jesus God. I tell y'all, 32 years. Okay. Okay. She said how lucky I am. Okay. I am, truly speaking. But I'm going to get another wife to help her out because she be working so hard. You know, fellas, she be working so hard. She needs some help, you know, maybe 2, you know. Anyway. When the phenomena is produced by an ascended master, the activity so transcends the intelligent witnessing it that it is most difficult for them to be sustained in the acceptance of the actual truth of it. It is utterly impossible to satisfy the outer activity of the mind. Projected visions. The etheric record is reclothed in substance. You cannot reclothe a record of a scene except in their own environment. The individual records, the individual's record goes with him wherever he goes and can be reclothed anywhere he is. I want to say something to that. In the first 2 books that we read before we got to this book, Saint Germain would take people back to the other lifetimes that they lived and show them what they did. We all have the same opportunity before us if we get deeply into this knowledge, get deeply into these practices. Let me say the benediction. Benediction. Thou mighty infinite presence, thy wondrous brother of light, wisdom, love, and power, we give thanks for thy radiant presence, glorifying all who look to thee. And in the glorious presence, we send to all mankind thy enfolding light, lifting them into thy presence always. So next week, we're doing chapter 24. All right. There was something I was going to say there. All right. It'll come to me. Anybody with any questions? So is this so deep that it was expressed so deep? Y'all don't got any questions. Y'all just clear. Nobody got any questions. Or are y'all shy?
Brother Selassie, can you hear me?
Patah.
Yes, yes. In terms of expedient manifestation, can you expound on bringing the harvest to the seed rather than the seed to the harvest?
Excellent question. Excellent question. I'm gonna say this before I even go on to answer that question. I was telling a brother, my friend who was murdered, right, when I was hustling. I told him, I said, you know what I really want to do, man? I want to be with ascended masters and stuff like that. I've been waiting for him to come and get me, you know? And then I told him how glorious this thing would be because of the stuff I read, because I hadn't experienced being with an ascended master at that time. And the brother said to me, yo, Lalji, if it is what you said, maybe you should go looking for him. You understand what I'm saying, Patal?
Yes.
Maybe you should go looking for him. Stop waiting for him to come to you. You ain't broke. Go find him, rock and roll with him. Because if you want this that bad, I wouldn't waste my time. And we was making Google money. And he was like, yo, if you want it that bad, like you expressing to me now, and this is one of my good friends. He said, if I was you, I'd go looking for him.
Yes.
So if those who don't have a spiritual master, those who like Saint Germain will be there for you, even though you can't see him now. But there are spiritual masters on the earth right now, right? Pray to God to get one. Go looking for one. I can tell you what one is right now. In South Fallsburg, New York, there's a spiritual master right there, Guru Mai. It ain't so easy to come there like it used to be. But you could go to the center. You could go to the ashram in Oakland. For those on the West Coast, there's a ashram in Oakland, California. There is these two masters that Uncle Hank just put on the screen: Simeon Togo and Sheikh Amadou Bamba. Please send me those pictures, Brother Hank, so that I can put them in my pictures in the Guru Gita. But both of these are passed away. This is what I mean when I say to y'all, don't think that this is going to be around forever. Saint Germain is still alive. Jesus is still alive. And Jesus was in a church in 1933 in New York City, y'all, in the flesh, was there. So it ain't that they ain't there. Then you got Nikolai Tesla, who's ascended master of knowledge. All right. Anyway, I'm saying this. Let's say, Patah, you don't have a master now, but you want one. Take this mantra to lead you to him. Anallah, 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 if you're a Muslim. If you're not Muslim, let's say you love the Vedic system. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om, I am God. Hari Om, I am God. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. And pray to ask God to lead you to the master. Just every day pray. All your thoughts. I mean, go for it with everything you got. Because once you meet the master, the game is over. And no matter how deep you are into your wickedness, you're still going to be a little bit wicked. The game is over. It's going to come out of you more and more and more and more and more. And to the next thing you know, you are a beaming light. I would say this, Brother Patah.
Yes.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, which means I bow to my God self. I bow to the self. Shiva is the self. I bow to the self. I bow to the self. I bow to the self. And your God self is going to not only hear you, you will be evoking God every time you say it. And the louder you say it, the better. Now, if you're around people, say it mentally. When we meditated just now, as I'm breathing and I'm going, Om Namah Shivaya, I'm saying it mentally on the in-breath and the out-breath, Om Namah Shivaya. I'm saying it mentally. Sit and give yourself an hour meditation day and night. I'm starting you out with this morning. Tomorrow, everybody that's getting down with the get down. This is what we're doing. We're doing everything that we did today. Only thing, I'm not going to be talking. I'm going to be just going through it. You'll have questions after it. I answer questions. But we're just going to get down. We're just going to be doing 10 minutes of prayer. And everything that we're doing, I have made it shorter because of the attention span of people. Because the first group, we were going 3 hours every morning, except Friday and Saturday. And so start doing that and pray to God, Lord, or pray to the ascended masters, pray to Jesus, pray to Saint Germain. There are many other masters that we're going to be reading about in these books, right? Not just Jesus or Saint Germain. Saint Germain asked the God Himalaya, asked the God Tabor, asked the ascended master Sanat Kumar, who owns this planet. Pray to them. All they want is for us to change our ways, because if we change, the whole planet begins to change. Like the 100 monkey syndrome. It's just like that. Go for it hard. Go for it hard. Like, say if you wanted $1 trillion, which is infinitesimal to attaining God consciousness, you would put all your effort out day and night to get that. Now, as I was saying, we're going to be doing these morning decrees, prayers, mantras, and meditation, and chanting and meditation, right? All of this is super duper powerful, right? Then there's going to be the nighttime. After y'all get acclimated and want to go, I'm going to do the nighttime stuff. In the daytime, it's going to be too difficult because our days are packed with so many things that we got to do, earn money, deal with the family, so forth and so on. It'll be a little bit more difficult for the people on the West Coast because if I start at 7:30 here, that's 4:30 there. So I'll have to start at 8:30 to try and get the people that I first started out with so they could do the nighttime decrees, chants, meditation, like that. But we'll make the nighttime decrees shorter. I mean, everything will be shorter. The prayers, the decrees, the meditation, the chanting and the meditation. But if you're doing it like that, if you're rocking and rolling, you ain't playing with letting God know, Lord, I want to be you. I want to be brought back into the Trinity, which I am. You're going to get it. This is the drop going to the ocean, right? Did I answer your question? Did I answer your question?
You did. Yes,
All
you
right.
did. And I need to get that PDF because I didn't receive that.
It did. But I thought, didn't we talk?
No, we did not. We exchanged a couple of texts, but no, I never did get the PDF.
Did you send me? You sent a donation, right?
No, that was not me.
It was two brothers that sent the donation. I wrote their names down so I could show appreciation. Two brothers sent me generous donation. I just want to thank y'all for that. I truly appreciate it. But what you do, give me a call. Give me a call,
Okay.
Patal, and I'll definitely send it to you. I know I sent it to you, but the file is so big that it may not got to you. Check your spam to see if it's there, because then I broke the files into 4 different attachments, or 5 different attachments. But as we get and everybody's starting to do the chant, because the chant is the most difficult thing, and we did not do the second chant. First one is to the God Self. The second one is to Lord Ganesh, who removes obstacles out of our way, right? I do those 2 mainly because the Guru Gita is super duper powerful, and the Ganapati Ashvashirsha, which is the chant of the Lord Ganesh, he removes all obstacles out of our way, and he just removes them, and as we do this chant, that's what's happening. And no, Jadine, I touched it and moved something and it went somewhere. All right, where is it now? I know the Zoom people can see me, but can you do it?
Lalji, what did you do?
I'm a master of this.
Keep Lalji away from touching anything, y'all. Bear with him. He'll be back momentarily. This is a fascinating show, and I'm enjoying it.
My wife is fixing the doors on the Zoom, and I'll be back with I'm a master this technology, y'all. The reason why I have not mastered it yet, because I always thought it was a trap. You say something in your house, and the next thing you know, there's advertisement on TV for exactly what you said, or you say it on the phone, and then it's like you got an ankle bracelet on. The only reason I even have a phone is my wife made me buy it, because I was in business.
Yeah, well,
you gotta have this phone.
God
I was like, they can call me on the home line,
Thank God your wife is there.
All right, there we are.
You would otherwise you'd be like a digital diaper, brother. So
I ain't gonna argue that.
Thank you, JD, for being science officer in Lalji's domain. I'm out.
But I'm gonna tell y'all something too.
That's you right there.
Let me be truthful. I thought to myself, when I see God, right, He's gonna say, I'm gonna give you some money for taking care of that wife and doing all this, but He gonna give her the money. But that ain't right. He gonna give her the money. So
that's okay.
Somebody, please ask me a question. I know Bro Patai is the only one that got a question. Nobody? Okay, if nobody got a question. Yes, go ahead.
I have some questions, but I have about 8 questions, so I don't know if I should just wait and talk to you later.
I'm gonna charge you.
Because I know it's
I'm gonna charge you. If you come ask me questions on my time, I'm gonna charge you. I'm gonna charge you, because people been calling me. It's been like I stay on the phone with them for 2 hours, and I'm working on my UCC. Ask them right now.
Okay, I'm done. They're real quick, and some of them pertains to how we meditated and chanted this morning. So, okay, so the first one, the necklace that you have, those beads, Where can we get those? Do we have to order those?
Yeah.
Or
I got a friend who
Can-
makes them, and
can you give us that information?
call me and text me, and I'll tell you, she don't charge too much for the small ones that I have. I'm looking for them right now. This is a tool, and what it does, it works. The way it works is it works like a whip to bring your mind back to your God self, right? So as you're doing the mantra, right? Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, right? This is the short one. My long one, let me get it. Let me just get up and get it, right? This is 108 beads. This is 108 beads. And I got other mantras. I got a lot of them. I mean, malas, zikr, rosary. This is 108, right? So if you want to count 1,000, on the Mashivah, on the Mashivah, on the Mashivah, you can do 1,000 in 15, 20 minutes, depending on at the speed you say it, right? But when you're doing like in meditation and you're doing it, it'll take you 50 minutes to do 1,000 on the in breath and then the out breath. That's very powerful to do it on the in breath and the out breath. And you could use, these are zikrs. I got lapis lazuli, but I got malas on a lot of different things. One of the most powerful things you could have is rudraksha beads, right? I let my son hold my rudrakshas to put protection on them. And I'm gonna get him another set. And you could do that, but as you're walking around in the street, because this is long. This is a long thing here. And you don't want to be, this long old thing in the streets. So I broke it down into 1/4, and this is that. So on the Mashivah, on the Mashivah, on the Mashivah, or whatever you get as a mantra. I used to say, I am love, 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 right? When you get a mantra from the guru, it is more powerful. Can everybody hear Sister Deborah, even on the Zoom? Can everybody hear her? Yes, okay, great. And so, it's like that. So this is why I say the mantra is more powerful than the decrees, for the simple fact that it's shorter and it's easier to say. And on the Mashivah, or as opposed to I'm the conquering president, I command this, I am president, govern perfectly my mind, home, affairs, and world. It takes much more time to say that than to say on the Mashivah, right? It's all purifying. But those decrees are to bring into your life what you want. The mantra is taking you directly to God. You are literally bringing forth before you, in your power of the spoken word, before you evoke God. His image is right there. And that image merges with you because it comes out of you and you become Shiva. You are Shiva. You are the self. And so that's why, you carry these malas. So it just brings your mind back to God. And here's the other thing that happens. Your brain, from thinking of God, the thoughts will start carving a groove in your brain. You know how the brain has these folds and stuff within it? Well, the force of the power of the spoken word will start cutting a groove in your brain to the point where your passive thinking goes to the mantra. This also answers your question, Brother Patel. It starts cutting lines in your head where that groove, so the brain will start forming to the thing that you're always saying, because the brain is a tool. And next thing you know, your passive thinking will go straight to the mantra. And then at a certain point, the groove will get so deep that the mantra goes on automatically. Once the mantra goes on automatically, you're pretty much there. When that mantra is going on all the time, right, in your head, right, what you'll see is you have gained mastery. You have gained mastery, and it just depends on you. And when the intensity of that you do it, and the regularity and the amount of times that you do that mantra, that groove will start cutting right in your brain, and next thing you know, even your passive thinking will be the mantra. What's your other question, Deborah?
What about the wool cloth or the wool blanket?
Let me show you my asan right now. Let me show everybody my asan. I have.
Where can we order that or get that from?
I was telling my wife, because she's into the business. She's a technical designer. We should get some and make them. But the cloth costs a lot of money, y'all. Good quality wool. This is one that my wife made for me, right? Let me show it to y'all. right? My wife made it. This thing is old, you know, and it's worn out. But like I told you, you could also get a lamb's wool, because it holds your energy. You might have seen this someplace in stores and stuff. Don't cost that much. But about 40 years ago, I brought this one. This is like the Muslims, but this is Chinese. You can get yourself a wool, but that's silk. This one is silk. And I also have a jaguar skin. The big cats are real powerful because the big cats are celibate most of the time. And their energy, you hold that energy. So in my meditation room, where I have the mantra going 24 hours a day, the big cat is in there. So I do the medicines, you know. I'll let y'all know when I'm having one. I was planning to do one on the end of this month. But does anybody know when Easter is this year? What was it, in April or March? Anybody know? Well, I plan to do one of the medicines. April, good. So in April, we're going to have a ceremony where we're going to do grandma ayahuasca. Y'all can come here, and if there's too many people, we'll rent a place and we'll do it there. But it's better here because spiritual practices are done every day here, and that room in the back is like the mantra's going on 24 hours a day. So that room is purified, and it was in a room like that I was transferred into another dimension that I was talking to you about before. So let me hear your other questions.
I got one. I just want to make a statement.
All right, hold on, Deborah. Hold on. Brother Hank.
This is a picture, Enoch the Ethiopian, who became Metatron. This is a book cover. All right. This is another one that I call on Ascended Master Sunat Kumara.
Look at that.
All right. This is Nikolai Tesla. You ask him as an Ascended Master, he will give you technical suggestions if he finds that you're sincere and legit. My brother Saint Germain, you connect and you be sincere as a mechanic. He will also assist you not only in recipes, but also technical innovation. Same thing goes for Simeon Toko, Sheikh Amadou Bamba. As a mechanic, these brothers, these Ascended Master brothers, will assist you in whatever you ask from sincerity. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. So that kind of answers your question too, Patal. That kind of answers your question too. Until you get to the ocean, how you get, how you draw them to you. You ask them to come. And right. They hear you. They hear you.
Oh, so, one thing, real quick. Patal, Lalji, family. You can use something like a weight and try doing a one-finger lift with a weight, and then say Jermaine or Simeon Toko or Sheikh Amadou Bamba. If you real, can I feel that you real while I lift this weight? And because they're high voltage Ascended Masters, the weight will feel lighter.
Yes.
So that will convince your monkey mind to stay in its place. So you're just not walking on faith, you're walking on voltage. And then you develop a relationship with yes answers from Ascended Masters, no answers from Ascended Masters. Sometimes I be ready to put some wild stuff on the shows, and I ask them, they say, nah, brother, don't.
Yeah. I'm glad somebody say something to you.
well, in terms of manifesting abundance, for example, again, bringing the harvest to the seed instead of the seed to the harvest. When you want to manifest something physically, such as abundance, finances, a new home, whatever the case may be, to bring the harvest to the seed rather than the seed to the harvest.
I want to say this to y'all. With that money that y'all got, that you don't know you have, but that you really do have, you can become a private banker. And there's a guy on the internet, not easy to contact at all, but he shows a video where this guy becomes a private banker by going through the process of his
Enlightened programmer, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
you know what I'm talking about, secure party creditor. He becomes a private banker. So what does he do? He wants to get a home. So he writes out a promissory note, which is money, y'all. The notes that we're using, those are promissory notes, and they're being used as money. So you put yourself in a position where you can write out a promissory note. So he wrote out a promissory note for $500,000 to get a house, and he takes it to the bank. Now they're gonna put you through a little this, that, and the other, but what they're gonna end up doing is getting you a top executive to handle the case and to walk you through that process, to write up a promissory note so you can get a house. What is House Joint Resolution 192 anyway? All your bills are supposed to be paid. You're not supposed to be struggling. This is the what? Law. Let's say that again. This is the what? The law. House Joint Resolution 192. It would behoove y'all to find out about this. It would behoove. I'm going to do it. I had a class and people were being lax in it. So I eliminated the class. Because the time I'm jiving with people that don't want to learn this super duper high powered knowledge, I could be just filling out my applications and doing what I need to do. And that's what I did. And maybe in some months we'll do it. Probably the biggest mistake I made was that I didn't charge them. So things that you don't charge people for, they don't value. Anyway, that's how deep this goes. In other words,
Yeah, well, I just want to drop this in there real quick. In pertaining to Patah and what you just said, Lalji. When you give and people don't reciprocate, you still generate, I guess, for lack of better words, good karma. So I find that financial abundance comes from a sincere heart of giving just for giving. And you create a vacuum, a void to receive, Patah and family. The thing I even talk about in the WhatsApp chat is compliment people's hopes. Compliment. Keep an attitude of gratitude. The more we keep an attitude of gratitude, we generate abundance. Special shout out to Brother Wally, Sister Arset, Sister April, Brother Patah for being on the channel. Because poverty is a state of heart.
yeah.
Abundance is a state of heart. All you got to do is, like Lalji said, and I like calling Lalji Master Lalji. And no, because we all masters. We the star seed, even though we trip, bump, and might even bump. But go ahead, Lalji.
So maybe I'll set that class up again. It's a study group, as I have not mastered it. But when like study group don't mean that somebody come and we do like we did today. Study group means everybody participates. When I was in a study group with Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark, and Leonard Jeffries and all these people, the first thing they do when you first enter the class, they tell you, now you read the next chapter. And then you come back with what you read. Now, as I read when I first got into it, because I know they wasn't playing, right? I read 3 books for 3 paragraphs of the chapter. These guys was reading a book a day. If I wanted to stay in there, if I wanted to be down with the get down, I had to step up my game. I was reading a book every week or every 2 weeks. They was reading a book a day. I took a speed reading course and a photo reading course just so I could keep up. So when I set up the study group, I'm not setting up the study group for people to come and then act like they read and I know they didn't read because I asked some questions. And I mean, they're telling you this ain't almost some deep knowledge. This is crushed cold knowledge. And so they wasn't reading the stuff. And I'm like, you know what? The time I'm wasting with y'all, I could be right in my room right now, filling out applications and reading the stuff on my own. So I eliminated the class. Now, I'm not going to set it up or start it back tomorrow. And I will charge a tiny fee so that there's some kind of buy-in, but it ain't going to be tomorrow. What we're going to do tomorrow, huh?
What you just said, Bobby Hemmett touched on this. And I'm going to drop a clip. Because he says part of the trauma is being lazy and act like a grown baby. Hold on.
A lot of times people are too lazy to research. So they would rather level new income and knowledge that would further us in this evolution of new light of understanding, because they're too lazy to research. That's one aspect of it. Another aspect of that is that we're trained to not accept change. We hate change. Why is that? Because remember now, post-traumatic slavery is dealing with, let us make a slave, is really let us make a child. Only thing you got to do, if you want to study the mind of black people and find out how we function, and say, what makes them tick this way? They're so fucked up. All you got to do is study the mind and the habits of children. Children don't like to study. You see what I'm saying? They like to shirk responsibility. They like to play all the time. We like entertainment. Children like entertainment. So half the time I gotta go speak knowledge to people, I gotta entertain to get it across. That's a child is that type of way. You see what I'm saying? We're very petty. Children are very jealous. This my toy. So when you look at, so let us make a slave was to make a permanent child. Pathological grown-up child at large. And children don't like change.
That's Bobby Hemmett. But it ain't just black folk, it's the whole prison planet chicken farm of grown babies. The whole planet of chicken farm babies that want to sprout. So you got to know, they don't want you to learn. That's why they condition you on YouTube to have 30-second clips. As Professor Leonard Jeffries says, free the paralysis by critical analysis. That's my favorite quote from him. Study to show thyself approved. Go ahead, Brother Lalji.
All right, so y'all, tomorrow we meeting at 7:30 in the morning. We're meeting that late because the West Coast, right? That's 4:30 for them. So, you know, if we go any later on this side, it'll be 10 o'clock before we finish, and everybody who wants to hear one chapter of the book that I'm writing about the genocide and what to do, we're going to do that afterwards. So if you can't stay, I understand, but if you can, then you'll hear this book before it's printed. And yeah. So
one more thing, Brother Lalji. For those of you who are familiar with the teachings or the transcripts of Edgar Casey, he has a library of his readings that he would do while in trance. ARE, Association for Research and Enlightenment, in Virginia Beach, Virginia. You know what his reading said? Lifetime. If you are, let's just say, an evil king or an evil racist, you come back on the opposite polarity. So say if I was an evil Chinaman, I'd come back as a poor Indian to experience the pain from the evil Chinaman. If I was an evil European American, I come back charcoal black. And what happens? They become the radicals in the community. They become the activists in different communities because they owe. So earthbound they go. Nobody gets off the planet alive, and karma is gravity of the soul. And this space suit can be in different colors of the color spectrum. It's the color and weight of our heart. So all the super activists, wherever they may be, is because they owe from another incarnation. Yeah. Because they were like, how dare you put me in as a black person in this life? My God. they become the activists. So everything's balanced out. It's fascinating to watch because what I noticed, and I'm going to finish up real quick, the most radical people are afraid of psychedelics and orgasms. What's up with that? That's all. Go ahead, Lalji.
So we're going to close now. I'm looking to see y'all in the morning. We're going to perfect doing the prayers, decrees, mantras, and meditation. I'm not going to be talking. It's going to go straight through 10 minutes of prayers, 20 minutes of decrees, an hour of chanting, and 45 minutes of meditation. And I want to reiterate, I was doing way more than all of this with the first group from California. So what's now 2 hours or 2 hours and 15 minutes, they were doing 3 hours a day. And they were here, like Brother Simiku here. If nobody came, Simiku was there. Anyway, so let me end it up with saying this little chant that says that we all may love each other, that Guru and disciple always stay friends, and that we never allow enmity into our lives, you know, that we always stay in love. And this is how it goes. This is what my guru would sing to his guru and had us sing every day. Nitya Nandaya Gurave Shisha Samsara Harine Bhaktakaye Dedehaya Namaste Chitsaratmane Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaye Nish Prapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Sahana Vavaktu Sahano Bunaktu Sahaviryam Kanavavahe Tejasvina Vaditamastu Ma Vivishavahe Om Shanti 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 Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. See you tomorrow, 7:30. I'll be waiting on you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hold up. I just want to share something because I want us to do the experiment with the Kinkaliba. Because we're going to do a show about that Kinkaliba tea. Combined with family, listen to this, combined with Gayusa.
I ordered it.
You want it?
I ordered it already. Yeah. It should be here today or tomorrow.
Family, we're going to do a show. I want Lalji to be on it. I want you to be on it. Get a 50-50 blend of Gayusa and Kinkaliba and experience that regeneration that happens. It's an amazing combination of tea. Now, I just finished my job. And then I got all fired up and I said, I got to testify. But you got to get it. You don't drink it at night. Because unless you're going to be doing some serious night shift activity, you drink this during the daytime.
Right. That means you've been going to bathroom all night long. You know, so
listen,
don't do that.
Listen, we're going to do this tea, and then you're going to moonwalk right into springtime. But it's amazing, family. The blend. All glory to our I am. Kinkaliba. And Gayusa tea. 50-50 blend. And don't get no
I'm waiting on it, Hank. I'm waiting on it. Also, I want to let
no
you know.
Ticket.
What'd you say?
I said, don't get no speeding ticket because our set will put the boogie down to the boogie down.
Check it out.
You will too, all the audience. Okay, so I just want to put up, this is the highest level of occult science. I'm going to say it right now. The highest level of occult science what Lalji is dropping on this program. Studying the science of I am is the highest level of occult science. Am I right, Lalji?
Yes, sir. I want to say something for anybody that got any kind of medical problems, right? I got a guy who I'm working with now who Dr. Sebi studied with, right? And so I'm doing a 94-day fast. And we could talk about it tomorrow. Now, I'm not expecting everybody going to do a 90-day fast, but I'm doing it now. And I started in the beginning of the month, this month, because it makes it easier for me to keep track of the days. And I got all these herbs and minerals. Now, I'll tell you about it. If anybody want to do a 40-day fast or even a 21-day fast or any kind of fast, it just brings you back to stasis. 90 days is going to take it to the butter. No bread. You're gonna be what you was. You're gonna be your best self. It's gonna correct everything inside of you. 94 days is gonna do that. I'm doing that. I'm not asking everybody to do that. Anybody want to do it, you're gonna be doing it on your own. I can tell you where to get what you're gonna need to bring you back. You know, all the minerals and herbs, and it's so much better than going to the doctor. They tell you to go to the doctor now so that you could die, because you can see what they're selling. They're telling you on the internet or they're telling you on TV, take this medicine you know, it may not cure what it's going to do, but the side effect is going to kill you, or it's going to cause you to kill yourself, or, you know, get cancer, or this, that, and the other. They're telling you, and they have to tell you. That's the galactic law. They have to tell you what they're doing. So they're telling you, and this is the sad part about it, y'all. They're telling you, and you're still going to go get their poison. You're still going to go to them. I'm not telling you that. You know, you go to the doctor if you want to die. You ain't going to die immediately. You're going to die slowly. And there's few doctors that are out there, and they can do what they do, but they only do it secretly, or they'll kill them, or they'll put them, they'll kick them out of the medical association. So tomorrow we'll discuss that. And remember, like Saint Germain says, to know, to dare, to do, and to keep silent.
And
that's how we rock and roll.
This is Lalji's channel, and this is support for I Am suggestions. And stay focused. Everything pertaining to magnifying our I Am. This is the channel.
And I want to thank again the two brothers that gave me the generous donation of $20 and $25. I really appreciate you. I'm going to definitely acknowledge you tomorrow because I wrote your name down, but so many people have contacted me. I'm forgetting who it was. I thought it was Patan, somebody else, but it's okay. I just want to thank you all for sending that donation. Truly appreciate it.
And I want to thank you, Lalji. I want to thank Ascended Masters, Saint Germain, Simeon Toko, Sheikh Amadou Bamba. I want to thank the Ascended Master seed that's in each of us. You are Ascended Masters of the future and tomorrow's to come. I want to thank all of you on this platform, April, Offset, Patan, Brother Wally, Lalji, and you. You are Ascended Master seed. And with the rain and the moisture of focus, repetition, success is your destiny.
Yeah.
Success is your destiny. Bound to success. Keep your eyes on the prize. I want to thank you, Brother Lalji, because even though you may not know how to turn a phone on and off, you got a beautiful genie wife who knows how to work the technology. So you know, you're blessed, brother. You're blessed.
And I want to thank Brother Hank, because without him, and he done told you,
yes,
I'm just able to turn the phone on. If it wasn't for him, we would not be here. Believe me, I don't know how to do this, y'all. But I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn. You know.
That's
but
it.
if it wasn't for Brother Hank, this would not be
let's
happening.
Thank Enoch the Ethiopian. All right.
Enoch the Ethiopian.
Sanat Kumara.
Sanat Kumara.
Let's thank Nikolai Tesla. Let's thank Saint Germain. Let's give a thanks to Simeon Toko, Sheikh Amadou Bamba. And remember, I searched for God and found only myself. I searched for myself and found only God. So, Brother Lalji, just want to thank you again. Family, donate to the brother. Donate to the brother. He's given freely. I'm going to say it for him, okay? You know, to receive generously, you give generously. To receive generously, you give generously. And that's a level of heart cultivation. All right? So, again, this is the WhatsApp chat for the I Am. This platform we're doing every Sunday. You can plug in, freeze the frame, and join. You will get messages of inspiration and blessings. And Lalji and Jadine is going to be starting, perhaps in the near future, a weekly prayer gathering. So folks are going to chant over you for healing, chant over you for abundance, chant over you for success, chant over you for protection. That's going to be happening in the chat. All right? The I Am chat. We say, Ashe, Aho, Donaza, Ahalo, Amin. Brother Lalji, it's all yours. What you want to do, brother?
If y'all don't have a book, get the book and get volume 4, because we're gonna go straight into volume 4 after this. We on chapter 24 now. Read that chapter and put your questions together. So when we come back next week, we got it. And then
put the book back up. Put it up so we can see
this is volume 3. The I Am Presence. I sent everybody this, and I sent with the phone number that where you can order it. So y'all get that. and get volume 4 too, because we're going to go straight into volume 4. After we do volume 4, we're going to go to the play of consciousness, or chit chakti vilas, where you'll see what a real powerful sadhana is like. Sadhana means spiritual activities that you're doing every day. When you're doing that, there's no way you're gonna lose. You're gonna see the groove. You'll literally feel your brain cutting grooves into your head where your passive thinking goes along. So we're on the journey, y'all. And as it gets deeper and deeper, especially when I get this money back from the IRS from doing the UCC, we're gonna be making major trips outside the country, going to spiritual haunts, doing powerful things. We're going to be going to some of the slave dungeons and freeing some of those spirits that are there, still locked up. This is something I did in New York years ago in the burial grounds in New York City. We're going to be going to trips like that, doing fire ceremonies and yagnas that bless everything around. Literally, it bless the whole world. So get ready for getting down with the get down, y'all. We're going to go hard. That's why I asked for 12 people, but instead of getting 12, I got 40. So everybody else and anybody else that wants to join this practice, just come. Send me that you want to join, and I'll send you the link so that you're doing the practices in the morning. And then once y'all get good at it, maybe 3 months down the road, maybe like June, we'll do the nighttime practices too. So you're gonna hit 2 parts, right? Also, I'm going to offer something I used to do, which was coaching. I got serious coaching on relationships, boy. And I got a book on relationships and business coaching. And if anybody want to call and talk to me with the spiritual, coaching for that, I'm going to put a price in there. I don't really like charging for stuff, but what I see is when I don't, it's not valued. So I'll put a little price in there, and we'll do it if y'all want. And I'll send it in a what do you call it? The email. And for that, for relationships, business, and any spiritual things y'all want. So that'll be coming. But tomorrow, 7:30, we meet it, and we're gonna rock and roll.
Okay, I also want to just share, all of you who have ordered from me, I thank you for your orders. As I said before, thank you for being patient. And if you need to reach me, you can call me, text me to remind me, because I'm always upgrading, and all my orders, the upgrades are free. So your patience will pay off with the harvest. That's what Todd was talking about. The harvest, patience of harvest is the latest upgrade. I just want to say that. And, feel free to text me or call me. I want to thank everyone in the audience. Thank you, Brother Lalji, for sacrificing time. The time, sacrificing time. The more mature we become, the most important element in our life is time. So thank you, Lalji, for sharing those amazing, colorful stories and dropping. So thank you, family, for even sacrificing time to invest in the only thing you can take off this planet. I am spirit is the joy within your heart. It's the only thing you can take. Everything else stays behind, like a caterpillar, and has become a butterfly. So thank you, Lalji. We got our full support. Thank you for everybody on this panel. Brother Wally, I see you, bro. Sister April, Osset, Brother Patar, J. Dean, and you, the listening audience. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you, Hank, for making this all available.
Yeah, we need you to become the Jedi masters of the spoken word of I am. We need you. That's why we're here. Otherwise, you just on prison planet, chicken farm, greasy planet Earth. But you can become a champion and make this planet a crystal beautiful pearl, turquoise blue spaceship floating in the sea of love. All the audience that contributed, thank you. Thank you.
All right, y'all. Ashe.
Ready to wrap it up, Lalji?
We can wrap it up now. I meet everybody in the morning, 7:30.